We're back. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Chilly this morning, but now that the sun's out, getting a lot better. It's like, was 40-ish overnight. Got here early evening yesterday after making the long trek from the hills of eastern Pennsylvania all the way down here to the Jersey Shore. Itchy. And I'm trying to gather my wits and come up with a game plan. Once again, I've got like a bunch of little things, trying to organize them. I'm probably going to continue with the forepeak stuff. I want to secure this table. It's kind of mocked up temporarily without all the correct fasteners, which I had in a bag by themselves, labeled table, with all of my other bags of parts. And at some point in the last couple of months, I don't remember when, I don't remember where, I do recall holding that bag in my hand and saying to myself, you know, the clever thing to do would be to separate this from the bin with the other stuff right now, because you're going to probably put that back in the van later to get all that stuff out of the way. But I cannot find it anywhere. It's not in the van. As far as I can tell, it's not in the boat. I'm going to look one more time. The reason it's so important is it includes a couple of really long bronze bolts that have to go, well, they got to be 5 inches long or better. I really don't want to have to buy new ones. I know I've got them somewhere. Yeah. So I got to do that. Yeah, I'm going to finish building this out. That scab a piece on the back of it so it's all one unit, and do something about the bottom. I found the thing that goes in here. I remembered it being a teak grate, but it never had, it might have had a grate. There's a groove for something, maybe cloth, I don't know. Yeah, this was just an opening that was framed out very nicely to access the old valve, drain valve from the old water tank. I might still want access there. I may have, well, I don't think I need a valve on the drain for the anchor locker, but it'd be nice to get at it. The aft edge of the anchor locker is not going to be up against this. It's going to angle forward, as I described earlier, and the drain, it will have a drain fitting right here. So it's kind of good to have this. I'll just put this back at some point after I redo the face. But yeah, I'm going to get this scabbed and then start at least making patterns, I suppose, for stuff. Starting with, I don't know, I got to figure out, do I start with the bottom of the chain locker? Do I start with this? I think I need to start with those two vertical faces. Different game plan for the main platform over the chain locker. I have the parts that used to be in that same area, basically a bunch of slats. I think that'll be better, and it'll save me having to get more plywood. I spec the materials. I don't have quite enough scraps around the old garage back at the house to do this job, so I'm probably going to have to buy some ply at some point. But that's the way it goes. You got a boat, you gotta keep spending that money. All right, now that we're done performing the necessary ritual with the GoPro, where I have to, it locks up with a still image and won't do anything until I pull the fresh battery that I just put in out and put it back in again. Then everything is fine. It's the thing that has to be done now with that thing. Let's see. So over this camera, but I can't afford really to get, I can't justify buying the proper unit at this time. As soon as I see any revenue from this channel, and we're getting there, I'm up over the $90 mark after 2 years. Oh, these are pretty badly corroded. Add it once you reach $100 total of revenue from ads, and I guess a percentage. Yeah, these are important. A percentage of the excuse me, subscription revenue after $100. those little tiny crumbs start falling off the YouTube table. So as soon as I get some of those, I'm going to devote every penny, and we are talking pennies for the first year or so, I don't know, devote that to camera equipment, stuff related directly to the channel. I promise. Likewise, if you were to make a donation via PayPal or such, look in the description for ways you can do things like that. I promise I will, first thing I will do is get a new camera. It's not going to beer. Well, not all of it anyway. Hardly any of it. Maybe a little. Bunch of cobwebs already. Got a little water in the bilge back here. Or forward here, I should say. Not bad at all. As long as it's below the top of the keel. Oh man, that's too long. Okay, maybe I can do it. I'm just not hitting the bolt. Here we go. Yeah, as long as the water is below the top of the keel and it doesn't smell, we'll see. If I keep the bilge clean, it shouldn't really be stinky. The river water here it's not bad. Even on a hot day, you can sort of smell. It smells like a river. It doesn't smell like a filthy backwater. The Tom's is pretty clean. Okay, how are we going? I'm going to get that out of there. Whoa, there's stuff on the table, dude. Be careful. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? All right, I can still get that out. Is it really so important? I think it was. Yeah, you know what? I think the nuts were on the forward side of this, so do a direct swap there. That was from a cleat, which reminds me. Oh, it's the wrong type. Never mind. There's no way. Oh, it's got to come up. That's right. I've got the camera clamped to the table right now. That's why you're seeing weird stuff. Oh, there's the hole. One of them. Not bad. Looks pretty plumb. Oh, it's not really. Maybe I need a different screw there. Oh, it's better with the grate here. Almost comfy. So what's your problem? Is the whole stripped, or you just need more? Well, it's a nice table. I don't know what's up with the seam. There's a seam that goes all the way across, and the grain doesn't match. It looks like, oh, this, I didn't even notice that before. This is nice. This is nice booked grain. I don't know if it used to be longer and it was shortened, or what, or if it was shorter and it was made longer. It's bizarre, kind of annoying too, but it's solid, and it's made nicely out of nice stuff. These could stand to be plugged. I kind of like how you can have the wings folded down, but you still have good, nice fiddled area for stuff for your coffee cup, or if you're enjoying a nice snort of Blaster Max in the morning, you can put it there. Just noticed something weird. We put the boat back in the water over 3 weeks ago, and I've spent a number of days aboard, 5 to 7 days at a time, like the first week, and I have yet to be like ill, even when, like right now it's rocking pretty bad. Even during the nor'easter, didn't feel sick, but I've noticed if I'm doing something like I just was, where I'm concentrating on something, especially, yeah, if I'm concentrating on something, I get this almost a headachy kind of feeling. Kind of like dizziness, but not even like dizziness. I don't get motion sickness. I was an active pilot for well over 20 years and never, even doing aerobatics, never got nauseous. Came close, actually, the one time I did aerobatics. But it's weird. I'm curious, any of you other boaty folk out there, if you've experienced that, like no nausea whatsoever, but just a kind of almost like an onset of a sinus headache. Maybe it is a sinus thing. Who knows? But I'm noticing it today. I don't like it. I might go topside and look at the water for a few minutes. Tell you what, it's a nice day for it. Looking out of the water. This would be a good day for sailing. Jeez. But we're not ready to sail yet. The rig needs love. I need that freaking rope. I also need to get the, got to renew my Boat US membership this month and try to move forward with the whole registration thing. It's a saga in and of itself. Bureaucracy. What are you gonna do? That's not gonna stop me from motoring out. Boat US thing is more important to me than the registration right now. I'm not too worried about getting busted if I motor out into the river just to do a shakedown of that system and the boat in general. I do have to do it. I've got a little over a month because after Thanksgiving, she's gonna move around the corner there to the area in the pond there behind the shop. Might try to kind of dovetail those two things, do a little morning of sea trial or whatever, and then when we return, instead of going back into this slip, go back there. And she'll be kind of stuck there for the winter because I think she's gonna be behind Big Nina. But we got time. I got other stuff to do meanwhile, although it would be really cool to be out on the water right now. I'm tempted to start the engine and cast off and just go, but I want one other person with me for sure. All right, I'm still racking my brain about the forepeak storage, but to sort of give myself a break from that, I'm going to finish putting this locker back together. The shelves are not great. The laminate's stained, it's cracked. Had some problems getting the screws out of it, but it'll serve. Give me a place for now to put tools and hardware and junk like that. Eventually this will be pantry space, but for now I just want to get all that stuff more together somehow. Already laid this one back in. I'm just gonna get some screws on it. Screws. I could definitely overthink this, so I'm gonna just start putting stuff in there and see what works. There's no room for it to stand up anywhere in here, is it? Unfortunately. Put them down here. I've got a couple more too. Taking up counter space. This little bin for other stuff. What we got in here? We got a rag. We got some marlin. I forgot I had the big roll. That can go in my rigging bag. I tend to do that if I'm working on various things for a couple of days. That is the old bracket for, is that stainless? Where? Put it in the junk drawer. I love it. This can go with the other electrical stuff. That's a knife I should keep handy at all times. Stuff can go in the small toolbox. Ouch. I gotta stop keeping 5-in-1s on the boat because they get corroded. You can't swap the heads out. I need to get some shorter, dedicated screwdrivers. The cleaning stuff, that can go in the small toolbox. Some floral wire. Why do I have floral wire? It's really no good for anything. Small toolbox. Not a whole lot of room here. Where's the less filthy rag? There it is. Back to this. I have sort of a plan now. What I'm going to do is I have some black locust 1x3. I'm going to make for each of these shells, I'm going to make sort of a frame of the locust on edge. Need an angle. Is definitely picking up a little bit. That's not really gonna work well. This one is definitely a little worm eaten. That's okay, we don't need all of it. I love it. I turned the camera on and it decided, no, I'm shooting time lapse, not video. So there. It's a conspiracy of things. This battery's not fully charged, but maybe I'll get lucky. Not bad for a freehand. Okay. That's... So... Next, measurement from the outside corner to the inside corner, 32 and 9/16. What? That's completely wrong in every way. Safety, double safety. Actually, okay, it's kind of a trick of the light. It's a hair short, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be an interference fit anyway. So this should work. It's kind of rabbited. Yeah, I think, oh, that's got to be chiseled, so I'll cut it from this end. I got another piece of this stuff. That'll help me deal with the incline because I want it standing up straight. I'm not going to go nuts. The shelf will extend out beyond there. 10 inches out of this stock, which is my scrap. And this cut will do us no good at all. have the clamps I need to do that. I don't have a pocket jig for driving screws, and I'm gonna have to just try to get away with it. That's what we do around here. Yeah, a nail gun would have been awesome. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Ow. This beat. We're definitely going to bring the nail gun to do that locker. That's for sure. This is nonsense. Clearly somebody measured wrong here. Oh no. Yes. And that would be me. And the angles are all wrong. And the length is all wrong. Yeah, you'd think I would be used to that by now, but it still hurts. And it's still annoying. I try my best to acclimate myself by doing it at least 85,000 times a day. But it's just not enough, apparently. Okay. No, like so, like so, like so. Yes. Creaking and rolling. It's better than halyards slapping on an aluminum mast, I'll tell you that much. In my opinion, some people like that sound. They're crazy. I'm looking at the bottom. It should come out coplanar because it's sitting on that. Hey. There's a little compression because the ankle isn't 100%. Me likey. I gotta make that a little shorter so I can fit it in there better. It kind of wants to go outboard a hair. I'm taking a break from the carpentry to take care of something before I forget. Right now the winds are right out of the north and starting to slack off overnight, but we still got a swell coming right up the river from the north end of the bay, I guess, because the wind's out of the north. And it's going to veer east throughout the week, apparently. So I want to move my anti-chafe gear to the other side, fore and aft, and take a look at things. Davis Secure. I like it. Clever idea. Yes. It's fetching up pretty tight right now. I don't think we're going to do those today. More on that later. That knot looks good. This bumper board needs some adjustment. Let me take care of that shade guard on the bow line first. It's not under too much stress. Chocks are fine. Sun. That's good. This part of the boat is very strong. And if and when the wind does move towards the starboard side, I think we'll be okay here. There are teak anti-chafe strips that were mounted here. I'm thinking about maybe moving one set of them back a little bit to deal with this problem. But this is not going to be our long-term winter home. It's not sawing through the teak yet. It will eventually, as it did over here. Where is it? There's a place where in her former home, look at that, it just sawed through there. Well, again, she's going to continue to get it blown away on this side. And maybe just a little more slack on it so it doesn't ride over the top of that. So I finished building out this port side shelf this morning and stuck it in place. It needs a little more finishing. I think it's going to be plenty strong. I was going to continue building out this side, but I think it would make sense to just use up the materials I have like this and make the other one and get it in there. And then, I don't know. I have to get more materials to do the whole job. And I do have some more at home, and I do want to go home, tomorrow evening perhaps, and come back and continue this on the weekend. This was tricky to build. I didn't do it the best way, but it's gonna be plenty strong enough. Yeah, I guess the plan is make the other one, get them both, vacuum out in here, get them both primed, put them in place, and then, I don't know, maybe do more cleaning up. I gotta vacuum out the bilge. We could get some rain tomorrow night or Wednesday. I gotta get all this dust out of here before any rainwater gets in the bilge, although we shouldn't take on much at this point. I think I'm going to rig some kind of platform here real quick. I may or may not use this PVC as part of this whole business. I only have this one shortish piece. But this one, I'm going to throw it in there and see if it fits. I don't mind if it's a bit of a pressure fit, but it's got to go in place. I'm not sure how it's going to be fastened, if it's going to be dependent on other structure or what. It still does not really. That's about as good as it's going to get without me rebuilding it, which I should have done in the first place. Should have just taken it all apart before the glue had cured and cut those rails down just a 1/4 inch on each end. It'll be all right. I'm going to take a breather. Then I'm going to fillet the inside corners with glue and prime. Or actually, if I glue, I'll have to let it cure overnight. I'll do that. Kind of mangled that thing messing with it, but it's all right. It's a utility locker. It won't be seen. Yada yada. Tuesday morning. We've got a quick coat of primer on each of these. I got them in place, just kind of sitting there. I'm not sure yet how they're going to lock in. They will. The wind has picked up. The river's a little choppy right now. I cleaned up a bit. Now I'm going to just get started, at least plotting out my anchor locker tub, because that's kind of the next thing that I want to happen, because the vertical faces of this and whatnot are going to depend on it. I want to be able to, if necessary, remove the whole tub without taking all of this apart. Because even if these are in place, even with vertical faces on them, even with tops on them, I can still kind of access the bilge if that tub isn't in place. But with that thing in there, it's all blind to me. I can't get in there. I can't see what's going on. It would just be good to be able to remove it without disassembling everything on top of it. It's going to kind of slip in there, sort of. And this is just easier than dealing with a piece of paper. I've dropped a line from each of these, square to the top of these, with 1.5 inches offset, because there's going to be other structure, including the walls of the tub. And I just need to, it's going to start. I didn't drop a line off of that, did I? And the plan is, if you look in cross section, that if this is the bottom, the sides of it are going to fall onto it. It's never really going to be watertight, but I think if I build it that way and then put a fillet in the inside corners of epoxy of 610 or similar, and then paint it with epoxy paint, it'll be pretty watertight. I hope it will never be full of water, but it'll be full of wet chain and rope, you know, and that's going to want to, that moisture is going to settle to the bottom and want to go somewhere. So that's 4. I'll tell you, I feel like I've gotten very little done, considering I got here, when did I get here? Friday night. But it's tricky working in here, and I've been doing other things. I've been cleaning and doing other things, and every day doing a little work on deck to make sure she's better secured, blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, another reason this is going so slowly is I'm designing as I build. I can't, my brain doesn't work like that. I mean, I suppose I could plot. It's a very interesting and complicated 3D puzzle that I'm doing on a boat. This goes like this. It's a center. 13.25. The sides, I'll have to, it'll be much easier to just make this, tack them together at a right angle, and then I'll be able to figure out all the dimensions of my sides. But another thing I should probably do today is start thinking about how the chain is going to come out, get from its hose pipe in the deck to here. I guess I got to try to measure an angle. I don't know if it'll work coming out up here. That may be too shallow an angle. It may have to come out. I might have to cut a hole in the grate and have it come out here. It'd be awesome to have it fall on center, but I can't really do that. Although if I kind of want to use PVC pipe, if I put an elbow, like a 45 elbow, and cut with the end cut at an angle, it might swoop around here, and more important, it'll be able to easily go back up without getting snagged. That might work. The only way to determine angles is going to be to go on deck. You know, it's blowing a bit. Go on deck, and it's not raining yet, thank goodness. This is going to happen later this afternoon. And measure from this face of the Samson post to the hole, and then I can measure inside from the deck to here and determine, make a triangle and figure out if that angle is going to work for them. The deck is raked, but the measurement will be close enough, assuming everything is straight. Actually, the relationship between the the bit and the Samson post in the deck is almost a right angle. But we'll draw it as if it's flat. And the hole, which is a 2-inch hole, at least we can do 1 inch per square. We know that's a 2-inch hole, which is good to know for if I'm gonna plumb it with hose or PVC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is the aft side of the post, which is about, call it 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the post. And the bulkhead, we'll call it 2 inches to the outer face of the bulkhead. And down from the deck to the opening of the grate, or the surround of the grate, is 9. 7, 8, 9. Pretty scientific. Oh, that's better than I would have thought. I got to get my protractor. But 45 would be great, but less than that. I'll do it from. I'll give myself. Yeah, actually that pipe extends, I think, at least 1.5 inches, and we're gonna want to come up, let's say 2 inches from there. Call that our angle. That sure as hell is more acute than 45. It's more acute than 30, I think. I don't think it's gonna work, even with a solid drop under it. I think even when this is done, well, before, yeah, even when they have the vertical faces and the lids on these two lockers, I'll still be able to lay down in here and fit pipe or hose or whatever. So it's starting to look more and more like a hose, because that way I could angle it, get it very close to center. I don't know, I mean, and I think I'm gonna have to go with the shallower initial angle. The greater the drop, the more road I have that's hanging free to move, to fall in, and to resist as the anchor tries to pull it all overboard. That will help compensate for a more shallow angle up there. Right? You all agree with me? Is it just wishful thinking? I think having a nice angle there, but then almost no drop, it could run pretty well until it all just kind of piles up here. It doesn't slide down enough. Whereas if it's popping out up there, it'll have a lot more energy coming down, and there'll be more dead weight resisting the anchor, keep things flowing smoothly, as opposed to letting it jump up in a big wad, especially if the chain is not perfectly clean and somewhat corroded. Same with the rope. If the rope is a little gunky, I'm going to try my best to keep my rope clean when I stow it, but it doesn't always work out that way, especially when you got to raise the anchor in a hurry, and you're by yourself. What that all means is that I think I'm gonna build this, including the tray, and mess with it for a while. Leave the grate out for now and just mess with it. See what it wants to do. But I think that's what it's going to want to do. The other thing I have to do is the bitter end of the rope, which I have tied to the Samson post, that's actually going to have to come out of the tray and come up under here. I have space to do that. I wonder if that's something I might want to do now. Need enough to come up. Oh, it's got to come around the front of that little platform. Yeah, there's no gap there. Shoot. I got to get it all the way. I think Yeah, there's not enough room. I'm gonna have to drill a ding dang diddly doggone hole in there, or yeah, if the hole's right there, that won't be so bad. Do I have a bit long enough to? I have to dump the chain, take that thing out, drill a hole in it, etc., etc. Do I want to do that right now? Do I have something better to do? Yeah, I can't really get. I don't have a long enough bit. There. Oh, I can deal with it. The rope isn't going to be a problem. Oh, don't pull it back in. I see now why they never bothered to nail this down. It's a really good fit. Yeah, I just finished cleaning up in here. I think I'm going to drill the hole over the sink. Got my hole drilled. I got some primer on there. I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then put it back, get the rope through, and dump the chain back into that forward area. Yeah, I got to get a leg in there again. Or maybe both legs. Pulled this thing out 3 times. I still can't remember how to put it back. Yeah, I think it wants to flip over. Really, really, really weird. I've got it recorded, so I can always reference the video next time. Now, I'm gonna go check that piece of 3/4. Even if it's not big enough to make my piece out of it, or I kind of feel like I want to cut out the first piece, the main incline, throw it in there, and try dumping the chain in there to see what happens, just as a kind of basic test. Okay, so I kind of made a quick and dirty mock-up. I don't know if I'm even going to use this ply. I don't think it's adequate quality. I can paint it as much as I want, but it was only 24 inches wide. It wants to be 24 3/4, although I'm thinking this might be fine. That might be a good width. It kind of wants to come up a little bit more. But this is our basic fall. It will, of course, it's going to have sides. And I didn't have a wide enough piece also to flare this aft part out. But I'm just going to dump the chain in there, even though I don't have the real fall here. It's going to have to fall somewhere, but I'm just going to try to get a general idea. I may as well just pull it in from here, eh? Cap back on there, didn't I? What can I temporarily rig something to make it go out this opening without pulling in there? Let me think. A piece of wood, maybe. I have a piece of PVC, but I don't want to get into that right now. I thought so. None of it went down in there. That's fine. That's it, 35 feet. I think this is not a good test of the drop, but and the slope of this. However, it's a pretty good test of how much space. What do you think? If I had 10 times the length of chain and or rope, 8 to 10 times, remembering that I can fill it basically up to here, I think it would fit. Well, maybe not 10 times, I don't know. I'm seeing now also that if this piece does flare out, I'm going to have to bevel this whole edge of my side piece a few degrees, which is going to change how it all meets up here. Whereas if I stick with a right angle, just gotta, there's going to be a plywood face with some sort of framing and then a cleat built into this to support the slat thing, the grate. I wonder if it's worth it to get into all that so I can have these corners available to fill. I'm kind of feeling like no. I think maybe just bevel. I'll just have to bevel these two vertical seams. I think I like it at 20-24 straight up in the back. It kind of wastes this space a little bit, but that's okay. I could make this whole anchor chain tub thing wider to get more into the bilges, but I really want to be able to remove it without removing these. And I think, I don't know, how would I calculate the volume of this? This is, the rope actually takes up a little more chain, because room than the chain, because it doesn't collapse on itself like the chain does. But this is 35 feet of chain, about 85 feet of rope. That's 115 feet. Yeah, I'm never gonna have more than 300, 400, so that's 115, 230, still not it. Yeah, I could put 500 feet of road in here. 400? Oh yeah, I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna keep this like it is, more or less, although I probably will go with different ply. I gotta cut it out at home too. I had to start with the cordless circ saw, which is just too wimpy, and finish with the jigsaw, and meanwhile the boat's pitching about. I gotta do this on a bench with, you know, yeah, I don't have room to screw a fence down to this. I really don't want to do it on deck. It's definitely too blowy right now, and I just don't want to do it on deck. Let me know in the comments if you think it's, I mean, I could probably fit just as much chain in that thing forward, but I would prefer to have the weight down here, or just really would. And that void will be available for, I don't know, super light, bulky stuff that you hardly ever have to get at. Like, I don't know what. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what my needs are as they develop. I'm feeling like now, just because I can't help myself, I'm going to start putting stuff in here just to see what it's all about. There's going to have to be some sort of cleat here. More slats, of course. I don't know. I might make them out of plastic to continue down. But again, there's going to be a lid here, so it won't be so weird. I removed one of these. I haven't removed the one on the other side. I'm going to have to cut that at an angle to meet the top of the lid of this cabinet. So that'll be mostly filled with the pretty wood stuff. Maybe I'll take one off the top and come down, because mostly these are here just to keep stuff from going down into the bilge. Although they are pretty. Yeah, I've got the ones on each side. I've got one that actually is drilled out to accommodate the bolts for the lower bobstay plates, not the whales, but those ones that have nothing on them right now, that will have rope for a net eventually. If I take this cut it in half. That'll get me. That'll be. I'll be able to fill it all the way down to the top of the cabinet with wood, and then inside the cabinet just PVC slats. Yeah, that'll be better if there's potentially messy stuff like paint in here, like if some fool doesn't put his lids on tight enough. This miscellaneous sort of parts bin thing. Well, it takes up a lot of space. It sure does. I'm gonna leave it here because I'm kind of tired of having it in the saloon. Yeah, and there will be slats across this. It's looking like if I have a lot of junk like this in here, I'm not gonna have any room for sales and whatnot today. These used to run 4 and a half over the water tank. Water here. That was more than 3/4. That's okay. I should be able to cut these enough that I can go all the way up with these with a pretty narrow spacing. I'm tempted to cut them now, but it is definitely not time. I don't really know what the dimension is going to be precisely. That'll be kind of the last thing that's going to happen here. But I just wanted to vertical space here and here. I'm visualizing. I'm gonna stuff the sails in here, see what we got. Now I have currently aboard all the sails for the short rig and all the covers. What should go? The covers should go in here first. I'm gonna keep this main out because I'm gonna try to repair this main sail cover myself. I can't. To fully appreciate how bad it is, I'd have to lay it out, but I don't have one here, obviously. And it's too windy to go out there and do it. But I think I have covers for sails I'm not using right now. These are pretty sweet. They're in good condition. I don't know if these are original. It's possible, but very unlikely. That would make them 47 years old, or whatever, whenever Russ got around to getting these on the boat. This one, I'm not sure which is which. I think I have a cover for a flying jib, which I don't need yet. I'm just throwing these in here just to get an idea of how well it will all fit. If I can't put anything in here other than sail covers and lines and fenders, that's fine. Question is, it's not like I'm going to strip the sails every time I'm not sailing. However, yeah, they're Housley's. This could be, I mean, you look at the label, it could be 40 years old. More. That's probably, well, who knows? I got to get the sails bent on and see. One of these is definitely for the staysail, one is definitely for the Yankee. The other 2 sails that I'm going to be using in the near future till I get the full rig sorted out. I know I should fold them better. But yeah, most of the time the sails under their little covers will be on the rig, so I will have a lot of other room here. But I think paint locker, tool locker, I don't know. Although ultimately, when the lockers are built and this is in place, I could stuff this all the way to the deck, you know, with whatever. I don't know, let's keep doing this. Another cover, miscellaneous rope. It's like almost 100 feet long. I have no idea. It's not part of the rig per se. This is something to do with reefing the main. This is part of the wacky bobstay arrangement from her pirate ship days. I thought I'd bring it back to the boat because I don't know, it could be handy for something. The rest of my 3/8 Polytex, which I think I'm going to use to lace on the main, because the main has like 1/2-inch grommets on the luff. Not only did the boat come with sails, it came with a bunch of nice bags. They don't all match, but they're in good shape. Anyway, here's, I believe this is the Yankee. No, this could be the staysail. It has, yeah, this is the staysail. It has a jack line for tightening the luff down. All in super good condition. I find it hard, if these are 45 plus years old, this boat didn't get sailed much, in my opinion. They're really, really nice yard arm manufactured sails. I don't know if they should be stiffer than this. They're still, I mean, pretty good. They're not terrible. And there's no, I haven't inspected every inch of them laid out, but I mean, the stitching, I know sometimes it'll be super UV damage and it looks okay until you get out in a good blow and then it just comes apart. But certainly good enough to start with. I'm not afraid to blow out a couple sails on the bay. The engine works great. I can get back here. This is, I guess the Yankee is a little bit bigger than the staysail, but it's the same. No, I think this bag just makes it seem bigger. It's a bulky bag. And the main is pretty big. I believe it's just shy of 300 square feet. This bag is, I don't think this is I don't know what this bag is really for. It's kind of weird, but it works. I'm going to retrieve that weight. Everything get out of hand. So yeah, when you look at it this way, I certainly have room for all of this jazz should the need be. Plus, you know, imagine all this sitting on top of the little cabinet, little lockers, and then this void being available in the middle. I could put a couple of fenders in there. I could put more rope in there. I could put whatever in there. Boy, I tried running this through a washing machine. I think it might be a lost cause, this main cover. It's all here, it's just in tatters. I can't afford to replace it yet. So what I'm going to try to do is, I have a bolt of this stuff, a small bolt. I also have a part of an old bimini that's made from the matching material. I don't have the frame for it. I don't know if I want that right now anyway, so I may cut that up to make patches and try to just re-sew stuff like this. If you have a suggestion, should I use sail tape? Should I use cloth? I know I should replace it. Like, can I even get this piping back on here? Is it worth it? I don't want to make too much of a project out of this, just enough to be able to bend that sail on, get it covered up, and maybe leave it on for the winter. I'd like to get sails bent on, if not go sailing before the end of November, but I doubt that's going to happen. Anyway, just in case it might happen, I got stuff. This thing, yeah. Sadly, this sail and this cover were the only ones that were left bent on the boat while she was sitting for the better part of 10 years. So it got trashed, and where it came apart, the main got some sun damage. Not much, just a little bit. It looks a little patchy. So yeah, this is definitely better. I'm feeling it. I just got to get some better ply. I got to take all this out of here and take that trough out.